$333 a day. That's all it takes to make $10,000 a month. $333 a day would change most people's lives because $333 a day will replace most people's full-time income. And guess what? $333 a day is pretty simple to make online. And how would I know? Well, I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product, doing a little over 900K. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tiny digital products that'll have that $333 a day coming in fast. The great thing about these digital products is that you only have to do the work once and can get paid forever once you implement a system. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. That's how you actually make more and get your time back by working less. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down these 3 tiny digital products that I have a lot of income coming in online in your business. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, you probably just end up being a hard worker that's underpaid like most people out there. Because if you haven't realized by now, hard work don't pay. I mean, just look around at the world. But look, the reason why I say tiny is because most people, they're thinking entirely too big when they actually need to think small. And small thinking is what actually makes all of the big, astronomical, grandiose, huge goals and dreams and aspirations that we all have come true. Because most people, they can't ever get anything accomplished, and most people actually never even get to the starting point because they're just looking big picture and they can't even figure out or see a way or route to the big picture idea because they don't make any steps along the way. So look, I'll give you a real life example. Somebody came to me recently and they were like, man, I want to make $1 billion. And I was like, hey man, that sounds great for you. Give me your plan of action to make $1,000. He couldn't tell me what the plan was. I'm like, hey man, this big, huge idea that you have, or this big, huge goal that you have of being this billionaire, it sounds all good and dandy. But how do you think you're gonna get anywhere close to that? And you can't even tell me how you're going to make your first $1,000. So I'm like, hey buddy, first let's go ahead and make a paper plane. And then let's go ahead and make a plane model. Let's make a toy or something. And now let's go make a real airplane. And now let's go make a spaceship so we can at least shoot past the atmosphere and then we can get to the moon. Right? People, they're just trying to get to the moon by jumping. I'm like, yo, you gotta jump pretty high. You gotta jump pretty high to get to the moon. I think there's some steps we need to take along the way. And another reason why I say tiny is because you don't need to have the biggest audience. A lot of people are out here failing miserably because they think that they have to have this huge audience when you can have a tiny to medium-sized audience. And the one thing that changed my whole perspective on this was when I read this article by a man by the name of Kevin Kelly. He wrote this article called 1,000 True Fans. The whole basis of the article is that if you have 1,000 true fans or 1,000 people paying you $100 per year, you will have a $100,000 per year business. You will have that 6-figure business that a lot of people aspire to have. And also, I do want to tell you this: when you're thinking 6 figures, don't just think $100,000, because that's what most people are thinking when they think of 6 figures. They're not thinking that 6 figures goes up to $999,999.99. A lot of people with 6-figure aspirations are selling themselves short because they're just thinking of $100,000. But just the whole concept of the 1,000 true fans, it changed my whole perspective on everything. I'm like, yo, most people got everything wrong out here. They're trying to get all these massive audiences, and most people that have these massive audiences, they have no clue what to do with them. You will be shocked by the amount of people that reach out to me that have huge audiences. I'm talking 250,000 Instagram followers. I'm talking 500,000 YouTube subscribers, and they have no clue on how to monetize their audience. I know a few years ago, there was a young lady, you can Google this story. She had like 1.2 or 1.6 million followers. She could not sell 30 products. A lot of people out here with the biggest audiences, they're not winning. But look, the concept of 1,000 True Fans, read the article by Kevin Kelly. Then I read this other book called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. And in the book, Daniel Priestley has this concept called famous to a few. And the concept is basically, if you can get famous, and when he says famous, I'm not talking like a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift or a Michael Jackson back in his day, right? When he says famous, that means if you will be recognizable, and more than recognizable, people will be pleased in seeing you in real life based off their awareness of your personal brand or your online presence. And his famous to a few was just being quote unquote famous to a couple of thousand people, like somewhere between like 2,000 to 3,000 people. So I merged the two concepts together. I was like, okay, if I can become famous to a few or a couple to a few thousand people, and from that small pool of people, get my 1,000 true fans, then I'll be able to have a successful business forever. But these are two principles. You don't have to stick 100% to what they're saying. You just have to understand the principles for what they are and mold them to what it is that you actually want to do. So you may not need 1,000 true fans. You may need to have 300 people buying a product from you that costs $100 a month. That's $30,000 a month. You're making $1,000 a day from a small pool of people. A lot of the stuff that it takes to win out here online in your business is principles of things. And once you understand and comprehend principles, you can apply the principles to yourself and what it is that you actually want to do and what it is that you are actually building. But once you understand the principles, you can move around whatever the numbers are to fit your own personal situation. And another reason why I say tiny is because these three products, they just take a tiny bit of your time. A lot of these things I get done in one day. So look, let me grab my whiteboard. So these three products are this: ebooks, courses, and memberships. And here's the thing about this one at the bottom here too, a membership. A lot of people, they're not thinking of a membership as a digital product, but I really need you to understand this. Anything to where it's the deliverable of your product is digital. It is a digital product. So a membership would be a digital product. If you wanted to put together some type of online mentorship or mastermind or boot camp or accelerator program, whatever it is that you want to call it, if the deliverable of it is online and digital, it is a digital product. So it doesn't have to be some guide or planner or checklist, because those things aren't selling. What are selling are these three right here. And the reason why these three are going to be the main money makers is because they're info products, right? The number one selling digital products are informational products, but you don't just want to have them be informational products. You want to have transformational informational products, because we're going to be selling the transformation. Look, we live in the information age. Information is easily accessible to us within the tip of our fingers 24 hours a day. People, they don't want information. People, they want transformation, because a lot of the info that people are getting out here, it's bad information. And why is it bad information? Because they're not receiving a transformation from it. Look, the whole game is this. It's simply just taking people from where they are right now, which is their current situation, and getting them to here of where they want to be, their desired situation. And this right here, the desired situation where they actually want to be, is the transformation that we're going to be delivering to people. But I'm telling you, these three right here, this trinity right here, it's more powerful than Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles. It's more powerful than Chili, Left Eye, and T-Boz. Or it's more powerful than Rocky, Cole, and Tom Tom. You get in my book of cool if you know that movie. Remember, Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. My favorite was Colt, then secondly, Tom Tom. Them were my two favorite. If you know that movie, let me know in the comments. But these three right here, they're going to be so powerful online in your business, and you can have a solid foundation off of these three right here. And this is something else that I really need you to understand. The same information that you use for any one of these three can be repackaged and repurposed to create the other two. So what a lot of people are doing is that they think if they have an ebook or a course that it has to be two separate things, or that their membership has to contain different information. No, you can repackage and repurpose the same information into different vehicles of different products to make additional revenue. So I'll use this guy as an example. I'll use, I don't know if you've ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki. But Robert Kiyosaki, his friends call him Bob, but I'm not his friend, so I'm gonna call him Robert. Plus, Robert, he seems like kind of a jerk just from the outside looking in. But if you're not familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, I know that I'm talking about digital products, but I'm going to use Robert Kiyosaki and his physical, tangible product of the book he wrote, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as an example. Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad once. He doesn't have to write it again, right? Not only does he monetize the sales of Rich Dad, Poor Dad with the actual book, but guess what else Robert Kiyosaki sells? He sells online courses and online trainings. Guess what the information is in the courses and the trainings? The same information that's in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He also has live events. Guess what they teach at the live events? They teach concepts from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if you've ever been to a Rich Dad, Poor Dad event or a Rich Company event, because he's built a whole entire company called the Rich Company or the Rich Dad Company. He's built the whole entire company off of this one book that he wrote, right? But if you've ever been to a Rich Dad seminar or a Rich Dad live event, guess what they teach? The same information that's in the book. And then at the end of it, they sell a high ticket digital product where the deliverable of this product that they're selling at a high ticket price is going to be delivered online. Guess what they're teaching? The same exact principles from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And at his live events, Robert Kiyosaki isn't even there. He has just other people on the stage teaching about the stuff that he talks about in his book. And then they sell a higher price item about stuff in the book, because the information is going to be delivered and consumed differently on different mediums. The stuff that you put into an ebook, you will talk about it a little differently if you were on video talking about it. And you can talk in more depth and in more detail. It's just like fruit. I'm a big fruit guy. I love fruit. When I go to the grocery store and I go and get a watermelon, the big watermelon is a certain price, but then they just chop it up and put it into a plastic bowl, and then it's a different price. And then they chop it up and put it in a juicer and put the watermelon juice right there, then it's a different price. It's the same with the mangoes. I get full mangoes, they're this price, but then I get the mangoes chopped up and pre-cut into a plastic bowl, they're this price. I get a bag of apples, it's that price, but then I go and I get some Martinelli's apple juice and it's a different price. It's the same product repurposed and repackaged in different vehicles at different price points. But look, not only do you need these three products right here, right? You need to have a system. And remember, system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, right? This is how we will make more and maximize our revenue while actually working less. And the system that we need to have for these three products is called a funnel. Now, a lot of people in the online entrepreneurship world, digital marketing, whatever it is that you want to call it, the world of online business, when they hear this word funnel, they think that funnel is a software. When a funnel is not a software. Look, a guy by the name of Russell Brunson, if you're not familiar with Russell Brunson, he owns and created this software called ClickFunnels. Through Russell Brunson's marketing of his business, a lot of people in the online business world, when they think funnel, they think it is a software because Russell Brunson built his software company by using this word funnel, 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 funnel all the time. A funnel is not a software. A funnel is the journey or the experience that you bring your customer through from introduction to consumption and furthermore. All right, so I really need you to understand that a funnel is not a software. A funnel is the experience or the journey that we're going to take our customer or our prospective leads that are going to turn into customers. It's the experience or the journey that we take them through, right? So the problem where most people are doing is that, say that you have these three products that we're discussing. Say that you have an ebook here, you have a course here, and you have a membership. What most people are doing is that they're taking their traffic and they're leading their traffic to three different products. And then they're wondering why they can't get any traction, or they're wondering why they can't make the money that they want to make online. It's because they're diversifying their traffic and they're separating all of the traffic that they do get. They're throwing it all over the place. Hey, go here to buy this, go here to buy this, click this link to get this. Or they have a link tree. Hey, click the bio. And then the link in their bio is a link tree where when you click the one link, it has like 15 other links. Look, nobody's going to go through all of those options and pick what it is that they actually want. When you give people too many options to choose from, they don't choose anything. So what we want to do with our system, with our funnel, is that we want to funnel all of our traffic to one of these products. So I'll just use the ebook as an example. So we want to funnel all of our traffic to this one product. And then once they've already made the purchasing decision to buy our one product from us, this one core offering, then on the back end, we show them that we have a course available, and then we show them that we have a membership available. Why do we do this? Because a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. That means that the best time to sell something to somebody is immediately after they've purchased something. That's why every single time that you walk into a store, you walk into a store for one thing, two things, three things. Don't you always walk out with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 things? It's about maximizing all the potential revenue that we can get from somebody by funneling them in to one core offering and then showing them what we have available on the back side. Because look, amateurs get paid on the front end, experts get paid on the back end. And I really learned this concept from IKEA. I don't know if you're familiar with IKEA, the furniture store, right? IKEA. Last time I went to IKEA for one cowhide rug for my living room. I walked out of IKEA with plates, bowls, cutlery, like knives, forks, spoons, glasses. I would have walked out with a trash can, but I wanted the motion sensor joint. I had actually dined in at Chick-fil-A of all places. I saw they had a motion sensor trash can. I was like, I want one of those. IKEA didn't have one, but if they did, I would have walked out with a trash can and then my cowhide rug. Right? IKEA, they got me in the front door, funneled me through everything else that they had because I had already made a purchasing decision to get the cowhide rug, but then I picked up other stuff along the way. This is what we want to do also. We do not want to separate our traffic. That's a no-no. We want to isolate all of our traffic into one decision. Then when they've already psychologically made that purchasing decision, we show them everything else that we have on the back end available. I'm telling you, when you do this, you get numbers coming in online in your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this credit at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description and tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But look, I'm telling you, once you have this system in place, or how I use the IKEA model with this, if I'm still just using that ebook as an example, right? So we have this ebook available. This is our core offering. We're driving all of our traffic into this one item. Then I will have my course available as an upsell, right? Everybody that made the purchasing decision here, I'm gonna have my course available for my upsell. And then let's say on maybe the thank you page, I will have my membership available, right? But nobody sees that these two even exist until they've already made a purchasing decision to buy this front end offer. Then I maximize the amount of revenue on each potential customer by showing them everything else available after they've already made the purchasing decision to buy that front end offer. Because amateurs make money on the front end and experts make money on the back end. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here about how you can make an ebook in one day and make a bare minimum of $100,000. It's crowded at the top.